It is time for 5 fast questions, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Sabret, if you have the questions, I will have the answers. Fire away.
Number 1, what advice do you have to teenagers?
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Number 2, what screams, I'm insecure as hell?
Bragging.
Number 3, what's your best example of it hurts, but it's a good hurt?
Using Listerine.
Number 4, what movie has the best twist?
I know a lot of people would say Sixth Sense, but I'm going Cabin in the Woods.
Number 5, what's the worst thing a doctor could say during surgery?
Oof, I've never seen that before. And that is your 5 fast questions. All right, let's do a little bit deeper dive in some of these topics. First question was what, Tyler?
First question was, what advice do you have to teenagers?
What would you say? What would be your advice to teenagers?
I would say be nice to everyone. You never know who's going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, I would go along with that as well, but I don't think it would be nice to everyone because you don't know who's going to make it. I'd say just be nice to everyone because you want people to be nice to you.
No, man. You gotta find out who you're going to glom onto.
You got to find out whose posse you're going to become a member of.
Yeah, do you ever see that Family Guy with Lois Griffin? And
was it Gene Simmons?
Yeah, Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Because she used to hook up with Gene Simmons back in the day, right?
Yep. Just make yourself available. You never know who's going to be famous or something like that.
I do stop and think about if there was anybody that I really ever knew that made it big. No. All right, what was the second question?
The second question was, what screams, I'm insecure as hell?
For me, it's bragging. Like, if you're one of those people that needs to go out and brag about just your accomplishments or anything, your accomplishments should speak for themselves. You don't need to go brag about yourself. What about you, Tyler? What screams insecure to you?
I don't know. I'm the greatest person ever, so I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I went with ridiculously fast or expensive cars, especially in a city like LA where you don't really drive.
Yeah, you're just going to be stuck in traffic the whole time. But what if you're just a big car fan?
Well, if you're like a collector like Jay Leno, that's completely different.
Ah, okay. All right, what was the next one?
Number 3, what's your best example of it hurts, but it's a good hurt?
Oh, man. Yeah, that one. Listerine. Because I feel like my mouth's getting clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
Massage.
Like that deep tissue, huh?
Oh, God, it hurts so good.
Other ones, too, are like later on in the day, like if you had a really good workout and you're sore, that to me that's a good one as well. What was the next question?
Twitchy when it says scratching my head. How hard do you scratch your head, man?
I think are you scratching your head because you're trying to think of an answer? Or it hurts so good is scratching your head? Because then I throw it right back to Tyler's question of how hard are you scratching your head?
Are you using like a nail to scratch your head?
Yeah.
Dandruff.
All right, what was the...
Number 4, what movie has the best twist?
Oh, I think most people go Sixth Sense. Because, I mean, that's kind of consensus, don't you think, for most people?
Yeah,
There's that twist at the end. Spoiler alert, I see dead people, and we find out that Bruce Willis is dead the whole time. Although one of my favorite lines from The League, I think it was from The League, when Taco makes the comment, he's like, did you know that guy was Bruce Willis the whole time? Like, he thought that was the twist. It was revealed that he's Bruce Willis.
Good times.
But Cabin in the Woods, I go with that one just because that's a movie I can't promote enough. Now, coincidentally enough, we're going back to all the way at the beginning of the show here. We were talking about the cameo that I bought for my wife. When I was in Portland, I was researching the hell out of that. I was trying to figure out who can I get for my wife for a cameo. And as I was, with my mom and my sister talking about it, my mom asked me who I would want. And I think I landed on Chris Hemsworth. I think it'd be really cool to get a cameo from him, because he just seems like a rad dude. Like, he just seems so cool. And how dumb did I just sound by saying rad dude? But that movie. What's that?
Wasn't gonna say anything.
Don't worry, I got it covered. I got it covered, baby. But have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods, Tyler?
I think so.
You would remember it. It does have Chris Hemsworth and some other actors that you might recognize from some other places. And it starts off like your typical horror movie. It's a group of teens heading over to go for a stay at a cabin in the woods, right?
Do we need to do a spoiler alert here?
Yeah. Before I say anything, if you guys have not seen it, God, see, I don't want people to tune out because I don't want to ruin it. Look, I'll tell you, it's just awesome. I won't ruin it. It's
an old movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 10 years old at least, I think. Let me Google that. Let me look that up. But
yeah, it's 11 years old. I mean,
yeah.
If you haven't seen it now.
But see, that's
past the.
Yeah, but I also think that a lot of people didn't go see it because it's not really portrayed as the movie that it comes off as. Like, there's a major twist in that movie that happens where you're like, wow, that was awesome. I think Joss Whedon was, it was produced by Joss Whedon. But yeah, it's so good. And it's one of those movies, too, that I started multiple times. And I've talked about this and Ghost Ship. And both of those movies were ones that I would get home, I would turn on, I would watch like the first scene. Now, the first scene for each movie, we're talking different ends of the spectrum here, because Cabin in the Woods is very typical in the sense it shows the group of kids getting ready to go, stay at a cabin in the woods. Whereas Ghost Ship starts with that cable snapping. What were you going to say, Tyler?
I remember Cabin in the Woods now. Yeah, it gets a little funky.
Yeah. And that twist, I was like, that's awesome. That's amazing. But both of those movies, I started multiple times, but I would always fall asleep because I'd always started when I would get home at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something like that. Or it was always super late, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot, and then I'm out like a light. It's so good. So good. Highly recommend Cabin in the Woods. Maybe that's something we could do here in El Paso. We need to reach out to either Flick's Brew House or Alamo Draft House or one of those, and we can go do a big movie night here in El Paso, and we'll go do like Cabin in the Woods or something like that. Get a beer, get some popcorn, and watch it. Or hell, we'll do a double viewing. We'll do both Ghost Ship and Cabin in the Woods. How's that sound?
There you go.
And what was our final?
You ever see Tucker and Dale vs. Evil?
Yes, and I love Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's got Alan Tudyk in it.
Yes, that is a great movie.
Alan Tudyk, born here in El Paso, by the way.
Actually, I have some good answers for number 3 and 4, actually.
Oh, we'll go back. Yeah.
And Massage for It Hurts So Good, but also Futurama.
The dog scene?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot like that, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Futurama, man. It hurts so good. And then for number 4, Fight Club. It has a great twist. And also, one probably people don't think about, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think it's because it's almost like common knowledge now. Like, people forget that was the twist. Did I ever show you the picture of my kid when she found out?
No.
We were watching Star Wars. We watched the original, and then we got to Empire Strikes Back. And it's a little bit blurry because I was trying to set up my phone without being obvious. But I got her reaction to finding out that Darth Vader, spoiler alert, is Luke Skywalker's father. All right, moving on to number 5. What was number 5?
What's the worst thing a doctor could say during surgery?
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine if you were awake during a surgery and you hear, never seen that before. Jesus. Did I ever tell you that I was awake during a surgery and I felt them cut into me?
You felt it like.
I felt the pain of the scalpel going into my skin.
Wasn't numbed at all?
Oh, it was. So it was for an elbow surgery, and the whole thing was numb, and it's really weird because it's numb all the way up to your neck, all the way down to your hand, and it's my arms just flopping around, and you feel your arm flopping around, but you don't feel it in your arm. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Like you can sense that your arm is moving, like near your shoulder. So you can sense that it's being moved, but you can't feel your actual arm. And then when you look and you see it and they're touching it, you feel nothing. So
That's weird.
they had my arm on the table ready to go, and they had put me in like that twilight haze a little bit. And all of a sudden I felt this pain in my elbow. And I looked at the doctor and I was like, should I feel that? And he looked stunned, which that was not a good sign. And he goes, wait, you felt that? Where? I said, my elbow. My elbow hurt. And he goes, we're going to put you under. Because originally they didn't want to put me all the way under, because if they do that, it's way more difficult to wake you up. There's way more complications. It's a whole new process when they completely put you under for surgery. And they didn't want to do that. But they ended up having to do it because I felt him cut into my arm. And it did not feel good. But I was so high, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Know what I mean?
Yeah. In 3rd grade, I broke my wrist. And so they gave me something so it would numb the pain, right? And when they reset my wrist, I felt that, but I don't remember anything after it.
So it numbed everything after the thing it was supposed to take away the pain from. Oh, my God. That sucks.
Yeah. It was I think probably the most painful thing I've ever experienced. And I had my wisdom teeth pulled. And I actually had my 2 front teeth pulled when I was a kid, too.
All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
Yep.
See, I had no problems with my wisdom teeth, actually. My wisdom teeth were, like, I was eating pizza that night. But my sister, on the other hand, holy cow, she ballooned up. Her whole, jawline and neck just got swollen up. And, I mean, it was pretty brutal for her. Where for myself, yeah, it wasn't so bad. I had no problems with it whatsoever.
Well, lucky you.
So how did you break your wrist?
I was in the Scouts, and I was running around in the woods, and I tripped and fell, and my wrists landed on a branch.
Oh.
I heard it snap. It sounded just like a branch snapping.
I was going to say, did it sound like the branch snapped? And then you realized, oh, that's my wrist.
Yeah, I couldn't move my hand anymore, and I was like, oh, I think I broke my wrist.
Dude, that sucks. Most painful thing I've ever been through was kidney stones.
That's a prolonged pain.
That was, I get it mixed up now. It's either right after my 34th birthday or right after my 35th birthday. I can't remember which one. But I woke up the day after my birthday, and my back hurt, and the pain just wasn't going away, and it was shocking to me how painful it was. And I was living with my mom at the time, and she essentially stayed upstairs, and I stayed downstairs. And it got to the point where she didn't see me for like 24 hours because I didn't get up from the chair. I mean, I think I may have gotten some food, but I was just downstairs. And finally, my mom came downstairs to check on me because she was like, I haven't seen you in a day. And I was like, I think I have kidney stones. So I'm curled up in a ball. And then I passed them. Nope. Never want to do it again, man. All right. This has been a weird show today, man. We need to do Friday shows more often, Tyler.
It's been kind of all over the place.
I know, right?